Are you excited to kind of put some of those pieces together and see how you look against another team? Are you ready to go up against someone else? What are you expecting from?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, we're a top 5 defense, so I mean, like, it'll be great to go up against somebody else and see how you stack up against them, because we know how good we are defensively. So we don't really have high scoring games in practice. It's not a score battle like how other NBA teams are. So like anytime we get a chance to go up against somebody else and put pressure on them and kill them, I think that's what we want to do.
What are you hoping to showcase in the preseason games few next week?
Just probably my defensive capabilities that I've been working on all summer, my conditioning, just my effort, and other stuff will just fall in line after that.
How have Kenny and Corey Joseph helped you in this training camp?
Kenny?
Contavious Caldwell.
Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. Yeah. I gotta let it. I don't. Who called him that?
I think he wants to go by Kenny. He wants to go by Kenny.
You say he want to be called Kenny?
He called Kendra.
Man, he's just joking. I don't know. What was the question again?
How have they helped you this training camp?
For sure, just watching them. Corey has been a tremendous help. More vocal. Kenny was better, just showing me and kind of just teaching me without really telling me on how to do things. So just watching him every day has been, pretty helpful.
Is there something specific about your defensive technique that you've really been working on that you want to brush up on?
Just like my foot speed, my awareness. I feel like, just picking up, full court and, being able to do that throughout the game consistently. That comes with like being in shape, and then just like being aware of the ball, being in the right spot. And, I feel I got better at that.
This team had one of the highest scoring benches in the league last year. It feels like they're going to be added to that. Are you noticing that depth in training camp and seeing that carry over, even though some players are kind of lost from that bench last year?
Yeah, I've been noticing the depth since I got drafted. So, I mean, just in terms of the depth of this team is crazy. From everyone on the bench, if they were given a shot, can contribute. And I think, it wouldn't be a drop compared to last year.
How much does that add to the competition of these game days?
Oh, it's super. It's always super competitive. Just in general, speaking, it's always competitive. No matter if it's the middle of February or training camp. So, yeah, there's no change in that.
Thank you,
guys. Okay, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Good. Coach, what are your expectations for J.I. this year? Obviously, you've been saying he's as healthy as ever. Anything different, new perhaps, that we could see from him this year?
No, I think for J.I., it's just going to be continue to build on the things that he did last year. Obviously, him being available has been the most beautiful thing for us. Being able to go through training camp and go through the things we've been doing. But just continuing to stretch the floor, knocking down threes. There'll be some times that he'll have the ball in his hands as a playmaker. Being able to set screens, roll, punish guys around the rim, not afraid to attack mismatches because of his size, strength, and length. I think we got to continue to look at those for him.
Is the added weight, do you notice, helping him?
He's definitely has helped him. I mean, just being physically stronger, being able to bump and bang with 5 men, as well as sit down and guard guards. I mean, so again, we talk about the ability to play multiple positions and guard multiple positions, just continue to do what we have been able to put together with this team.
First preseason game. games on Monday afternoon. A little different, but what are you hoping to see from your team in that first
You know,
one?
I always look at, those first games as an extension of training camp. And the big word we'll talk about is just carryover. What is carried over from what we've talked about throughout camp? Our offensive spacing, our guys getting to the right spots on the floor. Are we recognizing the alignments that we're supposed to be in? Defensively, how's our level of communication? All the things that we continue to build through camp, just making sure we do it, against a different opponent now, not just ourselves.
You sense some eagerness to play someone else.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, yesterday's practice was a perfect sign of that. You start to see the intensity, the competitiveness, the chippiness that you enjoy during scrimmages and games, and now you get to actually go do it against another opponent.
How valuable is it to go up against another opponent early on? Once that training camp ends and whatnot?
No, it's great. It is really good for for the game that you get to see the things that you've been working on and talking about in film, real time. Because as you're watching film, you're watching it one team versus the other team, and so it's like one mistake is actually the right thing for one team, and it's a mistake for the other. So you're trying to not balance it that way within the scrimmage against yourselves, but then being able to have a different opponent is going to be very good for us.
Last year, this team had one of the best bench, at least one of the highest scoring benches in the league. Are you seeing that depth kind of begin to reappear with this group?
I think the guys are really kind of falling into their own way of doing it. You look at right now, what AB is able to do, what Cole is able to do, the way Mo and J.I. and those guys are able to kind of bounce and play off of each other. And then, finding that next person that's able to step in is going to be very important for us. And I think that's really key. Gary Harris has been fantastic, as he always will be. And so I think as we continue to move forward, you're seeing guys being able to compete for just different spots within that unit.
Do you view this team's depth as one of its strengths? You have a lot of options. I mean, it's maybe a headache for you, but you have a lot of options available.
Those are great options to have. You look down to your bench and you're saying everybody can step in and contribute right away. And that's a conversation we're going to continue to have, and guys have accepted that as being part of this team. Their responsibility to the team is to constantly stay ready when your number is called. And if your number isn't called for 2 or 3 games, just know that this is a long game, long season, that you will have your opportunity at some point. And these guys have accepted that.
How does that kind of depth and that depth of talent show itself with the competitiveness in training camp?
Well, everybody's fighting for spots, and I think that just makes every person better. You look at guys being able to guard different positions. We were a top 5 defensive team last year for a reason. So it's making our offense better because they know exactly how we have to guard, how we have to play every day. And these guys are really taking that to heart and making it hard on the offense. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Mo, how would you describe the chemistry that you and J.I. have together when you're on the court together? I know you guys have been playing a lot together at training camp.
It's awesome. I mean, obviously, that's what training camp is for. We have a little experience from last year. Obviously, we in there together a lot, so it's crucial to get to know the other person and on and off the court, and kind of establish that chemistry. Look at other duos, big man duos, how they play and play off of each other's skill set. So I really enjoy it.
Do you notice the added strength that he's put on as far as the muscle paying off? I mean, is it noticeable when he's out there?
Well, I'm lucky that I don't have to go up against him since he's on my team, so I'm relieved about that. It's a question for Paolo, but I'm happy that he's. I mean, that guy worked his butt off for 4 years, it feels like, and didn't touch the floor. To go through that mental, hardship, and to still be standing and to be standing the way he is impressive enough.
How has this camp felt? Different or the same or compared to past years or even last year?
Hasn't. I think it's pretty normal. It's a great group. Ever since I've come here, it's been great people around. I think there's a little more intention involved and a little more clue regarding of where we want to go and where we need to go this year. I think that's maybe a little different, a little higher awareness for urgency. But other than that, from an atmosphere and working perspective, it's pretty much the same.
You said you've been playing a lot with J.I. and with a lot of the players from the bench group from last year. How important is this team's depth and being able to rely on that second unit or whatever you want to call it to this team's success this year?
I think in general it always has been. I mean, in any sport it's important, right? You don't want to have no drop off. And we've proven in the past, last year, that we were one of the best benches in the league, and obviously we want to continue to work on that. But there too, like we need patience. We need to get used to each other. It's a different year, different roles, different players. So we'll need some time to figure that out. But I think we're doing pretty good on both sides of the floor.
Has the depth been able to increase the level? I know you guys are saying there's more intention and more intensity to these training camps. So has the depth and having a lot of players who are fighting for playing time, has that increased the level of competition? Or is that just natural?
I don't think we need a outside source for injection of motivation in this group. I don't think that's needed at all with this group of guys. I obviously there's a healthy. Every team has a healthy portion of competition, but everybody takes his job very serious. I think the roles are pretty clearly defined. That's an advantage we have at this point, and we're trying to go somewhere. It's not about anyone else's personal destiny. We're trying to go somewhere, and everybody is pulling on the same strings.
What are you most looking forward to in this upcoming preseason?
To get it over with so we can get to the real games, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, it's awesome to get back into your routine, to get back with you guys. But I want the real stuff, let's just say, put it that way.
Going back on the second unit, you and Boga both having to play a role on that second unit. What's your connection like with him, and just how do you see him throughout practice so far?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that we're two totally different players, and there's a awareness of when what is needed, and obviously it's a pretty healthy competition as well, but not to the point of where we don't work together. We need to pull along the same strings, and again, I think there's an awareness of us being totally different players. So. It doesn't mean that somebody did something wrong if the other one is playing instead of the other. So we both know that, everybody knows that, so I would describe that as pretty healthy.
You were teammates with KCP when you were a rookie.
That's true.
What do you remember about that?
Well,
Anything stand out?
He makes a lot of shots, and he has a very high intensity on defense. Plays super hard. One thing as a young player, which I think we still are, all what he does to perfection is knowing himself. He doesn't do too much. He knows his role. He executes it every night. And you need players like that to win. You need trust, and I think that maturity and that trust he brings to to practice and games every day.
Thanks, Mel.
Beautiful guys. Have a good one.